like, there's not enough like space for my like head to fit. Hiya! So in restarting this channel, it's sort of come to my attention that the vast majority of you guys on YouTube who came directly from YouTube and not from another one of my like social media networks like Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz actually don't know jack about me. And to be fair, if you're a new subscriber and you came for tattoos or you came for, what is like the one other video I have on this channel? Weight loss. And you don't actually care to know anything personal about me, then like that's fair play to you. If you're an older subscriber, then there's a chance you saw some Q&As that I posted like months and months, like years ago. But if you're a new subscriber or you're someone who didn't watch those videos, then I sort of just exist in this like awkward space where like one video's weight loss and one video's about my tattoos and one video is about this time I really fucked up my hair, and like past that, who is she? And if you're just here for that like odd conglomeration of those things I just mentioned, number one, why? But number two, soon I'll have a video where I'm doing or talking about something else random and sort of ludicrous and irrelevant to the other videos that I've posted in the past, because consistency is key, but it's not for me. However, if you are interested in my life, then this is the video for you. I went ahead on Instagram and asked you guys to send me messages to my DMs for questions for a Q&A. I got hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages, so I'm gonna answer oh my god, as many of those as I can. Also, I will be reading out usernames because I find it kind of awkward when people are like, favorite color, green, favorite animal, fox, favorite movie, Wall-E. Actually never seen Wall. We're back in the onesie pants. Woo! Like for that if you have a heart and a soul. And if you're not subscribed already, who knows why you'd want to subject yourself to this strange hodgepodge train wreck of a channel thus far. But who knows, you know, maybe one day in the future I'll make a video on one of your little niche interests that no one else on YouTube really understands, and then it'll all be worth it. Plus it's free, so why not, you know what I'm saying? Hit it, like and subscribe. Okay. Isabel Nicholson asked, what do you study? Nothing right now. Intentionally picked this question to go first so that all the audience that I don't retain will at least see me be a little bit braggadocious. But last night I finished my thesis and I actually haven't gone to sleep, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so if I'm a little jazzed, a little more jazzed than usual, that's why. So I'm not studying anything. I'm actually like pretty much done with college. What I did study when I was in school was visual media arts, which basically just means art history. Lily Mabes asked, what's your fave look you've ever done? This one, nobody liked it, nobody appreciated it, probably because it was ugly AF and I had no eyebrows or eyelashes, but I thought it was so cute, and I literally ran around my suite back when I was living in a dorm looking like a little alien. I don't know, nobody liked it. It's fine, I'm fine. Greta Catherine asked, when was your first kiss? P.S. Love you, you're adorable. Love you too, even though this question brings back so much cringe for me in my old age. I was 13, I was a freshman in high school. I had my first ever boyfriend. We dated for like 3 weeks, whatever. We were by my locker. I don't really remember the nitty-gritty details of the first kiss. I'm sure it's just like a little peck or something like that, but he like kissed me by my locker, and it was right before first block. So I was thrilled. It was my first kiss. I was like walking off to first block. I didn't really see a problem with it. It was probably the most like chaste kiss you could ever imagine in your entire life. Just like a little lip bump, if you will. And all of a sudden, he's back. Like, I had started walking away and he like followed me a few steps and was like, wait, no, I want to do that again. So this boy was epically unsatisfied, I guess, with our first kiss and was like, I want a redo. I don't know if it was me, I don't know if it was him, but like my first kiss was a two-parters because the first one didn't count. Anyway, Supreme Jen asked, what kind of camera do you use to take your Instagram pictures? I use a Canon Rebel T3i. EFC PTB asked, I followed you on Twitter as you always had something to say. Do you think you stopped that as it would affect the brand? Or wouldn't go well with advertisers? You know, weirdly, I don't think that I'm any less politically minded or outspoken on social media than I was when I first started social media. If anything, you're probably noticing that I tweet about them a lot less because I now find them utterly depressing, particularly the political climate in the United States right now, which is where I'm from and where I live. It's really just draining. Like, there's very little good news going on in the world. So if you're noticing a drop in the amount of time I spend talking about American politics on Twitter, that would be why, because they're awful. Oreos asked, asked, will you be filming makeup tutorials? So I'm very torn on this. I don't like filming makeup tutorials at all. I don't like filming them. I don't like editing them. I find that I go very awkward when I try to give instructions on things on video or in real life. So I don't think they would be of exceptional quality. That said, I get requests about this all the time, so I would at the very least be comfortable doing a makeup tutorial on sort of like my everyday face that I have in all my videos. So if you guys want to see that, like this video so that I know, and also let me know down in the comments. Ed Rose has asked, do you have a boyfriend? I do not, but I'm available. That had to have been like the least sexy thing that anyone's ever done. So that will probably remain a no. Giselle Efi asked, what are your plans after college? So right now I live in Manhattan and I'm pretty much, like I said, done with college. I'm just doing my social media thing. I'm living with my friends. Soon we'll be living with our other friends. So I'm just kind of hanging out and like figuring this out as I go along. Mia Bergenton asked, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? So the biggest place on my bucket list is Japan. I've actually been lucky enough to have traveled to a bunch of different countries. Particularly when I was young, my grandma would take me around, and I've been upwards of 20 countries in my life. So I've been very fortunate, but the place I've always really wanted to go is Japan because I'm very interested in Japanese culture, and there's quite a few places in Japan that I really want to hit. The reason I haven't gone yet is because I am so overwhelmed by the amount that I want to see in that country that I'm really waiting until I have sort of the financial means and a particular time in my life where I feel like I can go and stay there for a few months and really sort of flesh out the country and see everything I want to see. She also asked, what's your favorite movie character of all time? Hal from Howl's Moving Castle. Actually think we share a soul. Hero Sewell asked, when did you first start reading the Harry Potter series? I'm a Slytherin too. Nate Power. I started reading the Harry Potter series when I was literally 5 or 6. My mom used to read them to me. Lady Ortega asked, which black eyeliner is your favorite? So I used to only use the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I used that exclusively for about 6 years of life, and then recently I started using the NYX Epic Ink Liner, which I think works just as well. Capsized A asked, how much did your sleeve cost, and if you hadn't gotten it done in that style, what other style would you have gotten it done in? So I don't want to say how much it is costing me because I've already told you guys who the artist is. It is in the thousands, and if I hadn't gotten my sleeve done in Japanese traditional and I hadn't had this cover-up situation, I would probably be doing what I'm doing on this arm and just be doing like a bunch of black work, smaller tattoos. Lara Naga Brenda asked, how many tattoos do you plan to get and in what places? I pretty much plan to be covered in tattoos, to be completely honest. I'm gonna go into my legs, my torso, my hands, so countless. The only places I won't tattoo are my face, and I don't think I would ever tattoo my neck. Thea Hud, or the A Hud, asked, what is your biggest regret? I really regret chemically processing my hair so early in life, particularly relaxing it. I wish I had just kept my curls when I was younger. Balls Mermaid asked, do you like horror films? And if you do, what's your favorite? I love horror films. I'm still mourning the end of October. Halloween is by far my favorite holiday of the entire year. I have quite a few favorite horror films, and it changes all the time. The Shining is always going to be a favorite. I still really like Woman in Black, but I'm biased because I really like Dan Rad. I also really like the VHS series, even though the movies like aren't that good. Jessie Hart's Beauty asked, is there any book you like more than Harry Potter? No. Fernan Duh asked, can I please be in your video? Yeah. Hi. Motherflower asked, how did you figure out at such a young age what you wanted to do as a career, and what was the process into life after high school like for you? So immediately after high school, I actually went to college up in Boston. I entered as a film student, realized I really didn't like the industry and sort of how it was compartmentalized. That's another video. But I switched to art history because I had always loved art, so I became a visual media arts major, and it turned out I really loved it. Weirdly enough, I wasn't really a social media person before I was like a social media person. So eventually I decided that I was going to do some funky makeup on Instagram just for fun, because I like makeup and I'm a funky gal. And brands started reposting me and reaching out to me, and at first it was like, oh awesome, I don't have to have a summer job, but then it quickly turned into like, wow, this is a career, so it's completely by accident. Princess Perla 17 asked, high school musical or camp rock? High school musical definitely, though I did have a camp rock phase. Rika De Long High asked, how old are you? You're really gorgeous. Thank you. I am 21. 20 fun. Anna E. Bach asked, all-time favorite highlighter? Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. Baby Blue Satin asked, if you weren't Slytherin, what house do you think you'd be in? I would definitely be a Ravenclaw, meaning that I'm definitely not a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor, but can we talk about the fact that the Ravenclaw mascot is an eagle? Like, whip beyond measure? Anyone? Hella B asked, what is your sexuality? I think sexuality exists on a spectrum. However, thus far, I've only ever been attracted to men. Eileen Tiger asked, if you could be in any Studio Ghibli movie, what would it be or what role? My favorite Studio Ghibli movie by far is Spirited Away, followed closely by Howl's Moving Castle, but I don't think I'd want to be in either of those worlds. I'd probably want to be Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. Did you guys see that Miyazaki is making another film, and this time he's like, this is gonna be my last one, I know it is, but I'm so excited because it's gonna be a fantasy epic like Castle Castle in the Sky, which is such an underrated Studio Ghibli film and I never hear anyone talking about it, but it's freaking amazing and I'm so psyched. Arts Yerusha asked, what was your first favorite movie? It was actually Bambi. My favorite Disney movie now is Alice in Wonderland, but I used to sit outside in my backyard and wait for deer to come, and I used to call him Bambly, and it was mad cute. Katie Oliver 25 asked, have you ever had any surgery? If so, what, and do you regret any of it? I haven't personally had any surgery. Not that I'm against surgery, I'm actually very pro-surgery, and if it's something you want to do, like literally go for it. Though I would like my nose to be a little bit less rounded at the end. Personally, there's nothing about myself that I want to pour that much money into. Amber absolutely asked, would you ever move to California? Probably yes. I'd always said I would never move to the West Coast because I'm such an East Coast girl. I actually really liked LA and I could see myself living there. I can't even try to pronounce this username, but they asked how tall I am. I'm 5'8". Not Joanna asked if I could tell you guys the story of my worst date, so I don't want to get like into it. If you want to see the full story and like a story time, I don't think I'd be good at that, but like you could ask in the comments if you want to hear it. But basically, I went to the movies with this guy. We're going to see Easy A. This was when we were in high school, and his mom came to the movie theater and told us that it was too adult for us and that we had to go see Eat, Pray, Love instead. So we saw Eat, Pray, Love. And this really wasn't a bad date. Like, I was young. I was like not miffed at all, but I mean, looking back, what? Caitlin X JPEG asked, what's your favorite thing you did over the summer? I went down to Orlando with two of my friends that I knew from Tumblr. We're still best friends. The three of us literally still talk every day, and they've been my friends for like 6 years. We met in the Glee fandom. But every once in a while, we all meet up together and do something. So this past summer, we went to Orlando and went to the Wizarding World and spent a full day on each side, and it was amazing. Kylie Glam asked if I'm a Christian. I am not a Christian. I wasn't raised Christian. I literally have never been to church or anything like that. I really respect everyone's religions and belief systems as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of like people on earth. Maria So Fetch asked, do you want to have any kids in the future? Absolutely not. Violet Taz asked, what problems do you have with the beauty industry that makes you stay away from things like events? So I'm a very awkward person, which doesn't have anything to do with the beauty industry, but it's definitely a contributing factor in why I don't like going to events that hinge entirely on social interaction with near strangers. In terms of the beauty community and events in particular, there's always so much drama going on in between different groups of people and different cliques and different people on individual levels, and some of it's real and some of it's fake. I feel like I would have a very difficult and anxious time navigating sort of like the social climate. Pamela Rose 27 asked, do you watch any anime? I've already mentioned that I watch Studio Ghibli, but other than that, I watch very Americanized anime. Like I watched like Pokemon and like Attack on Titan, and my favorite show of all time is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Becky Marshall asked, one insecurity and one thing you love about yourself the most. Weirdly enough, I don't really have one insecurity that like really bugs me. Not anymore. It used to be my arms. I always thought my arms were disproportionately large to the rest of my body. But now that I've gotten a tattoo sleeve, I actually really like my arms because I want to show it off. Obviously, I have a few little insecurities. I wish my hair was thicker. I wish the end of my nose wasn't so rounded, but they're really not things I think about on a daily basis or like at all. Conversely though, I also don't really have one thing that I can point out that I'm like, this is the thing I love the most about me. It probably wouldn't be a physical thing. I really enjoy the fact that I can completely immerse myself in stuff. Like if there's something I enjoy, and anybody who knows me in real life can attest to this, or probably even on social media, I will like become entrenched in that thing for a certain period of time. I have a very obsessive personality, but it's not dangerously addictive, which I feel is sort of rare, and it's pretty much exclusively for pop culture things. So when I like something, I really passionately like something, and I very much enjoy that about myself because it keeps life spicy. Oz400 asked, who's your favorite singer? I can say Panic at the Disco now because it's just Brendan Urie, but it's like Brendan Urie / Panic at the Disco and has been since I was 11. And Paige asks, scale of 1 to a billion, how much do you love me? Paige, you know I love you like a 3. So those are all the questions I'm going to answer today, guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to nearly all of them, but thank you for being so receptive and sending in so many questions. This was really fun, and I hope that the people who cared to get to know me a little bit better did. If your question didn't get answered or anyone has any further questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I do look through my comments, so I will answer it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye, guys.